What's up, guys? It's PopKorn, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin With Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got popcorn.
Man, I kind of fell off, man. I started doing a little bit of comedy skits, this, that, and the third, and kind of just gummed the channel up with no direction. And then I went through, I wouldn't even call it a divorce because I already divorced her, but I took her back, and I just I went to sleep at the wheel or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you were doing good, man. You were getting momentum with the channel, with those little shorts and the skits you were doing. They were funny, like people liked them. And then all of a sudden, it was like bump the brakes.
Well, no. Here's the deal, man. I've always been the class clown. You know what I mean? And one thing that I think you learn when you get older is you ain't getting any younger. So if you've wanted to do something with your life, you know, and this will be my uncle moment right now. So listen in, okay? If you've ever wanted to do anything with your life, get like Nike and just do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do it, man. Even if it's stupid or even if you think it's going to work out or not, just try shit. You know, you don't get to try it from the grave. You know, you inspired me to start my own YouTube channel when you brought me on for the first time, you know, for years before ever talking to you. Because of reality TV and kind of the internet, you know, I tell all these youngsters in my tattoo shop, we need a YouTube channel. We need a reality show. We need, you know, and just nobody motivated to do the shit. And then I did the show with you, and you're a really good dude, man. You know what I mean? For you to kind of just put out the kind of carpet for me and show me the ropes a little bit. And you actually had other like professionals call me and deal with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everybody's busy. Everybody got something to do, and to slow yourself down to help somebody else out. That's kind of like how I live my life. You know what I mean? So I've always respected you and appreciated you for that. So anytime you ever need to do a show, I'm always going to show up for you, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got hella support in the community, man. You know, and I've got to know you a little bit personal. Like we have our chats here and there. But as the shows go on the internet, I mean, I think your show is one of the more well put together looking shows. You definitely get a broad spectrum of interviews where it's kind of entertaining. You're not like pigeonholed shit talking. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just head hunting. You know what I mean? You put out the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, I love the disclaimers about clubs aren't gangs because people get carried away with that. And it ruins it for the people that aren't there for that. You know, I went to the East Coast National for the Pagans, and that was like the most badass family event that I've like ever seen in my life. Like for real. So many people just enjoying a beer together, hugging each other, high-fiving each other, smiling, walking up, introducing, greeting, meeting. Just, it was like, it was amazing, man.
What year was that? 2021?
That would have been like 24, I think. 23, 24, somewhere in there. I don't know. I did ride motorcycles into a pole and break my back and neck. So it's not like I got 8 goldfish. I probably got 3. You know what I'm saying? And I smoke a lot of weed. So dates and shit like that ain't real big with me. Don't fact check me, internet. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
So what, you went over there? How long did you spend over there? Just a weekend or?
Oh man, I went over there for the national run, and it was just, you know, it was awesome, man. You know, they put on a hell of a party, that's for sure. You know, titties and beer, man. You know,
that's what life's all about, right?
Yeah, no, it was really cool, man. I'm not from the East Coast, and I think just because people put the patch on and they think that, you know, I don't know, man. I was really welcomed. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Did it put the whole club in a different light when you came to the East Coast and seen how they act over here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's kind of weird because I had such a good experience on the East Coast, right? But it absolutely had something to do with me deciding to put it down out here. You know what I mean? And for whoever's rocking the West Coast, keep on rocking. You know what I'm saying? But it just, where I fell in Spokane, you know, there was people that, and if they're still there, that's a shame. But there was definitely, you know, a dark-skinned feller that just a bag. You know
But
what I mean?
would you have been able to stay in the club, or you wouldn't have?
I wasn't asked to leave. I was
No.
asked to stay.
Yeah.
I put my cut in a brother's hands and told him I got to get out of here, and he shoved it back in my chest and said, "Fuck no."
There was no way for you guys to settle the differences, and you remain.
So here's the deal, man. Here's the deal, dude. Fuck my old lady, right? And I found my old lady strung out as a hoot owl in his house, hiding in her closet.
Isn't that like
what I'm saying? So yeah, I didn't stutter.
One of the number one rules, though. Isn't that one of the number one rules?
So it all falls together, right? Like, I find my wife in this brother's house, hiding in a closet, and I walk up to him, and I'm an admirable ass dude. Okay, I'm a very admirable person. I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, look, your children have to eat their breakfast on this floor, this house, this carpet. We're going to take care of this later, man. Come see me." I didn't want to fuck him up in that house and tear his furniture up and put his face through his bedroom door and his wall. Probably have to snatch his wife up because she ain't going to stop trying to help him. Like, it would have been bad. The way this was handled, man, just put it this way. When we went to the East Coast, this topic was brought up by the East, and it was a cardinal sin. You know what I mean? It was said on a loudspeaker, like, there's certain things you don't do, and number one is touching a brother's wife. There was plenty of people that knew what happened, and here's the deal. You know, when you got these little power positions, some people, it's a risky business to go up against power. You know what I mean? Like, if you fail, you're fucked. Simple as that. You want to call the big guy out, you're going to be fucked. You know what I mean? You better prove your shit, right?
Yeah, if the Goliath don't work, and you're pretty.
So that's why I had to leave. You know what I mean? For one, if I'm calling you brother, and you tell me that if you tell me somebody did that to you, to your wife, to your baby mama, I just need to know where he's at. You know what I'm saying? I'm your brother, ain't I? I'm just supposed to look at you and say, "Damn, that sucks."
No.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, there was two dudes in that house. One of them came see me. You know what I mean? And he kissed every wall in my tattoo shop. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? But at least he showed up, you know? He loved kissing walls. I promise you that. But at least he showed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the crazier part about that is this all happened before I went to the East Coast. And so the reason why I even went to the East Coast was because when I was trying to put it down, one of my brothers said, "Hey, man, you got to go to the East and see what this shit's really about, man. Like, this isn't what it is, man. And we don't want to lose you. So can you please make your mind up after you go see what's going on, you know?"
Yeah, but so you go to the East Coast and they say there that it's a cardinal sin.
No, but look, when I get to the airport, guess who's standing there? Oh, piece of himself. You know what I'm saying? So I roll up on him. And anybody who's ever been in Spokane and knows the black dude, like, then you know who he is. You know what I'm saying? bro. Anyway, yeah, I ride next to him, arm to arm on the airplane. I pulled
Right
him
next
aside.
to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make it uncomfortable for you, bro. I I pull him to the side at the airport and I said, "Hey, check it out, man. You already know what it is, bro. But I'm gonna have you pass me my peanuts on the way. So let's go. Let's not make it about us. Let's make it about this. But it ain't getting nothing dealt with or taken care of. You still owe me, homie. You know what I mean?"
I'm just curious. How come you didn't bring this up on the East Coast in front of
Because
other
I'm not
people?
a drama type
Yeah, but
cheerleader.
this is
Fucking
a whole nother story, though. This is
yeah.
like the
No, I feel you.
Cardinals fan.
I really feel you. But look, this is why. This is why. Because it would have implicated so many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that happened, and who knew? But that ain't the only shit, man. Like, I was running into some crazy shit. The police showed up at one point for some different shit. And I got 5 mother brothers there from Spokane. Why is there one East Coast brother there who sends me a, "Hey, what's going on? Do you good?" You know what I mean? Like, I get one person to let me know that somebody's trying to talk to me. And it wasn't from my chapter. You know what I mean? So it's really easy to get lost, hanging out with the wrong people, man. That's all I got to say.
And
I've
then
been
the
doing
whole
shit.
debacle with the bullshit, right?
Oh, bullshit Harris. Yeah. Yeah. No, the whole experience was crazy as fuck, man. But, there just wasn't enough. There wasn't enough standard. You know what I mean? Not for me.
Let me ask you a question. Did bullshit Harris go out there with a cut on?
Yeah. When I met him, yeah, I actually he actually gave me a patch when he went out there. I met him in I want to say like Seattle or somewhere over there.
Did he
But
have that weird pagan cut on?
oh no! This is before all the bullshit. Is that what you're talking about? When I
Yeah.
first met him, yeah, no, he showed up regular as far as I know.
But was he officially a part of the club then?
Yeah, he was.
Because I know he was in the club, but it wasn't for very long.
Yeah, no, I mean that dude right there is a joke anyway, man. All that shit he pulled with Miklo's book, you know what I mean?
And Lou Dobkins,
Yeah, trying
tapes and all this shit.
to turn it into a Sons of Anarchy episode. That snake motherfucker, man. I was actually in line to do the what was it, the Vice episode.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be the West Coast pagan going to speak talk about on the episode, and because I'm all about advocating for a brother, and I had looked at him as a brother, you know what I mean? I tell him about and one way or the other he gets in touch with him, and with his lying ass steals my fucking episode,
Because he snaked his way in there and he said he was
dude,
related
look,
to Lou Dobkins.
you know what's funny, man? Like, I at least got to put a scrapbook together. You know what I'm saying? Because I got all the text messages of me telling him I'm going on the show, him congratulating me, and then I got the text messages from the show saying, "Oh, we talked to old boy. We're gonna go with him instead." You're like, you know what I mean? He just slid me. It's all good. I mean, I heard they paid him dick win.
He is now saying that he's retired from the Pagans.
Man,
I hear you can't do that unless you're a member
hey,
for 30 years.
listen. If that's what he's saying, then have him post his address so everybody can send him a retirement gift. Because that ain't what the fuck I heard. You know what I mean? I heard that boy got mental issues playing the games he's playing. You know what I mean?
I have the messages. Yeah, like I have them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna post them right here, right here.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. But yeah, so I never threw no shade on the club because the club did my old lady. But the dude who, and what's crazy is, man, here goes a story. Like, the dude who we're talking about, okay, and just out of respect for the club, I won't say his name, but he's the dark one. You know what I mean? The way I really bonded with this cat, we took a trip to Arizona. You know what I mean? And I'm not even going to sit and drag it on about how I'm the only member in Spokane that got on my bike in Spokane and rode it to Arizona without trailering it, sharing it, getting turned, none of that. Every other person, I won't even call them brothers, man, trailered their bike, traded the bike, cried about the ride, like, man, you know what I mean? Either way, when we get there, there's another person there who has a bike, and he don't want to ride that bike back. You know, he does not want to. They piggybacked his bike there. He don't want to ride it back, you know. But everybody's just like hating on me because I rode my bike. They're literally telling me, PopKorn, why are you trying to outshine people?
What?
What the? If I wanted to outshine you, I'd ride two bikes at the same time. But if I'm riding one motorcycle, I thought that's what we were doing. But you know what I mean? Anyway, so he says, we're going to let the prospects take our bikes back. I said, that. Take that other bike off the trailer. Let them take that bike and your bike. I'm going back down through California. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or back up through California.
Yeah, to get some scenic route,
No, that's
right?
not how we're doing it, man. You got to let them have your bike so they can ride on two brand new bikes.
No.
In the name of brotherhood, sure, here you go. So I end up in the back of a pickup truck from Arizona all the way back, right? And between me and you, man, in all reality, if I would have went back up through California, who knows what the weather was like, but it was garbage on the way back. Slurry, snow, rain. It was like the most miserable ride you could ever think of making, right? So, yeah, I saved myself hypothermia, right?
So they rode it.
The prospects had to ride the bikes back, right? So I end up in the back of a pickup truck covered up in a blanket with this dude. You know what I'm saying? And we're sitting there trading stories of our childhood and our criminalhood and all this, you know. And I think I get to know this guy. And by the time we make it back to Spokane, Washington, me and dude are like best friends now. You know what I'm saying? I got this dude's back no matter what. Like I would have went 100% for this dude. You know what I mean? There was an instance where I did put my down one time before for just a little second, but it was over standing on business. It was always me standing on business. Like if I thought something was up or wrong, I spoke up. I'm sorry. And sometimes it cost me to be in trouble. But when it was figured out that I was right, then they came back, apologized, and it was no big deal, and we just moved on. But when I came back, this wife walks up to me and says, you know, I think my old man can handle himself, but holy shit, I was worried about it while you were gone. I'm so glad you're back. You know what I mean? Because she knew I had his back for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would have put in some heavy duty work behind that dude. You know what I mean? He comes to me, he says, hey man, I don't want to tell anybody, but I'm losing my house, you know? And this dude has a son and a daughter and his wife and him, and you know, he's buying a house and COVID comes and he stops paying his bills. Like, you know how they said, you don't got to pay this, you don't got to pay that. Well, he was one of them people who stopped paying everything. So whenever they kicked the lights back on and said, where's the money at? He was losing his house, right? I'm the reason why there's not a pagan clubhouse in Spokane.